everyone. I have been asked to colour some perfume bottles to show how to do them. So I've got this Hanna Karlzon book, jewellery box, which I was gifted around Christmas time. And I found this page here where we have a selection. And I thought, well, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe do a few with you and have some fun. Now I have actually grabbed my metallic pencils because I'm wondering what sort of effects we can get with them on the bottle. Should we start? Let's start on this one. I might not use them entirely. These are my Castle Arts, by the way. I'm not sure how far in we'll need to go. Oh, I didn't like the sound of that. I think that was the spine. Oh. Anyway, I thought I've got my Castle Arts Soft Touch as well and my metallic, and I'm just going to play around and see what happens really. So we have a bottle here. I'm actually going to, I think what I'm going to do is do some of the swirly bits in a sort of silvery colour to make them look like silver, and then we've got our gemstones lid, which we might do in different colours. We'll just give it a go. So as I say, this is Castle Arts Metallic. If you don't have metallic pencils, I'm just choosing some colours while I'm chattering. You don't have to use, you can use like normal colours, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to use the Typhoon Grey and the Vesuvius Grey. You can see we've got two different shades. I think actually no, the Typhoon Grey is a very browny grey. We're not going to use that. We use the Quantum Grey and the Vesuvius. Hang on, swatch chart. So that one, Vesuvius, is quite silvery. That Quantum is actually quite blue. I think I used the Platinum. And I'm going to grab the black. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to start with those two greys are quite similar, aren't they? I think I'm going to start with the Platinum, and then I might add in some black, and so I can start to mark out what I'm... Gosh, there's a cloud going past. It distracted me. And it's zooming along the sky. Really, it's quite windy today. So I'm going to make that quite dark down there, and then lighten it. So I am actually colour with my metallic pencils as if they were normal pencils, if that makes any sense. So I've got a gap there which looks like it could be shine. And although the pencils have some natural shine because they're metallic, they're not like really shiny. So I like to put in some artificial shine. I can't really think of what I'm trying to say, but I hope you know what I mean. So just gently. So this is like your mid grey, and actually I'm not going to go lighter. I've got my lighter grey, but this one seems okay for what I want right now. I might add a little black. Now I'm a big fan of these metallic pencils. I understand that Purfume do some which are a bit cheaper, and some people love their brand, but I don't know how they compare. I've not used them. I've not got any Purfumes, but I've got plenty of pencils, so it's not something that I've got. I'm going to grab my black now, and I'm just going to put in a little touch of black here and there where I want it to look a little bit darker. I don't want to overdo it, but I think it can just help, because when you want something to look silvery and shiny and you're leaving a little bit of white, this paper is cream, it's not white, but it does work. The darker you start, the more contrast you get between the dark and light, and the more shiny it looks. So that's what I'm just trying to do really. We can darken it up. I could have started with the darker colour, but I wasn't really sure how it's going to look, so I just thought I would wait. So that is that bit. I'm going to do these bits the same. Again, I'm going to use the it's the Platinum, isn't it? Let's put that one away. or else I'm going to get confused. So let's use the platinum again in the same way. So lots of layers here, less as we go up, and I'm going to just leave a gap right at the top like that. Okay. So yes, you could do this with a sort of mid-cold grey and get the same effect. I'm going to start down here and then think about where I'm going. So you don't need to have the metallics. As I say, I do really like these. But everyone's different, obviously. Now this bit, I'm going to keep it quite dark along here and then fade it once we get up there, because it's got to go into here. I'm going to do a lighter bit there and a lighter bit there. So I think the person who asked me to do perfume bottles was sort of thinking about how you would do the glass and the shine, and I totally agree that that is quite daunting, and we've got a bit of that behind here. So we'll give that some thought. Obviously this bottle is actually quite ornate, so a lot of the detailing would cover where the actual glass is, because even this outside bit looks like it might be made of this metal, which is what how I'm going to do it. And yeah, glass can be daunting, but I find coloured glass easier, because if it's in front of something else, which these obviously aren't, they're freestanding, then you have to think about seeing through it. But if you do it a really dark colour, so think about dark blue glass and dark green glass, you can't really see through them. So it makes it a lot easier for you. All you have to do then is make it look shiny. All you have to do. Yeah, it's not easy, I agree, but you just make it look shiny rather than having to make it look see-through and shiny. Yeah, I think it's a little easier. Right, I'm going to grab my black again. This is the mythos black, and put a few bits in, I think, again, just on those very edges, just to give a tiny touch. Now, some people are very good at using their white pen to sort of draw in little sparkles and things, and I think those are amazing. If you can do that, then think about doing that. Not at this stage. Oh, train went by and made me jump. Not at this stage, because you might smudge it, but later at the end. But I've never been able to pull that off. It always looks a bit weird. So I am either the sparkles are the wrong size or in the wrong place. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave that there. That one needs blending a bit better. There we go. Now I'm going to keep my silver theme and do some of the other bits in silver as well, but we're going to grab the other silver that we're using, which is the Vesuvius grey. Yeah, I'm just checking on my swatch that it's the right colour. I think it will be. So for this circle, I'm going to make it darker on each side and then fade it towards the top and the bottom. So our shine comes top and bottom. You could do it the other way and make the shine on the sides. I don't really know why I choose that way. It's not a logical thought process. It's nothing to do with where I think the light's going to be. It's just what I'm in the mood for on that day. So it's not, it could be better. But yeah, I'm taking a relaxed and chilled approach. There we go. So these, I'm leaving the tips white. Now I'm trying to work out what's going on around here. Now I think that bit is a gap, so that's the bottle, and this bit is something. So this something is going to be this colour. I'm going to sort of fade it up and probably make it dark here and then make a light bit down here. which is sort of the opposite of what I did there. So maybe it would have been better to have done the other one so it's the same. I don't know. I'm not going to get myself stressed up about it. There we go. Now these loopy bits, again, I think should be metal. They're very small. I would like to leave this tip part without any pencil, but they're so little. I'm going to just do my best and hope for the best. Okay. That big one you can see, but the smaller ones, too little really. There we go. Now I'm also going to do a little bit of this. I've got this edge actually. Yeah, I'm thinking this whole edge could be in this sort of metallic colour. You can see that this is a bit lighter than this, which I think is good. But how do we do it? I think I'm going to do a light layer of this. This isn't going to be my final colour here, so I'm doing it lightly so I can build up the colour. Now Hanna's paper is fabulous, so there's always an opportunity to add more layers really. I say always, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you couldn't do a million, but I've never struggled. Her paper is very thick and lovely. There we go. Now I think I'm going to leave it there. I was thinking hard, wasn't I? Goodness. And what I'm going to do is grab the black. And my plan, I'm going to talk you through my plan, is to put a very fine line of black all the way around the inside and both insides of that line, because I want it to look like it's rounded. Let's see, you know, that rounded. I want it to look like that. It's a very, very small space, so I'm not sure whether I'll be able to pull it off, but I'm going to try to just put a bit of a shadow along here. I don't even know if you can see that. Ideally I'd have a bit of a sharper pencil, but it sounds a bit silly. I'm a bit worried about this black being the first one to disappear. It's quite a good one for adding shadows, as I did earlier on the silver, and it works well with all the colours. So I sort of think I might run it out, and I can't buy open stock. So if I run it out, I'm looking at buying another full set of pencils, which isn't ideal if you haven't run out any of the others. And I'm sure Castle will have a good deal at some point. Castle always reducing things. It's always wise to never buy anything full price, because there's always a sale at some point or another. I think that's working. It looks like it is from the angle I'm looking. Whether it's showing up on camera, I don't know. Now these 4 little blips, I'm going to just put a dark bit where they're near to the frame part? I don't know what to call it. There we go. Okay, so now we have some colour choices to make. So we've got our big gemstone here and a smaller one here. We've got our lid. I'm going to do the neck in a colour, and we've got this glass. I'm thinking pinks and purples. I think it'll look nice. For the gemstone, I'm thinking purple. Is it going to work? Let's have a think. Now what I've done on my swatch chart is I've put a little dot of white pen in the corner of each one to see which ones bleed through, and this one does. Do you see? There's only a couple that do. For this gemstone, I might be wanting to put some white pen on where that is shown there. I'm going to colour over that, and I might just put some pen on it because it'll probably show through. So I certainly don't want to use this colour, or else my white pen's going to go pink. So what I think I'm going to do to be safe is to use the purples for the gemstones and then maybe use some pinks for the bottle. Okay. Right, but I may still steer clear of the ones that bleed through just to be sure. So let's grab our amethyst. This is a really beautiful purple and we're going to do this gemstone. Now, it's a little bit, what I want to do is make it darker on the outside and then get lighter and lighter and lighter towards the middle. But we've got these distracting silver loops. And so I'm going to try to make it quite hard in there. I could use the black to help us if we need to later and fade that one because it's really big. But these ones, it's just a case of trying to fill in that gap with a nice, solid, intense amount of colour. There we go. And now we can get some more down. As I said, I'm going to go over the top of that. I don't really like it when the shine is drawn in. I like to be able to do it myself. But, you know, it is what it is. As I say, we can go over it. I want this to be a bit darker, so I'm going to just go over it all again. And then, as we come in towards the middle, we'll do less layers. And the idea is to fade it a bit, to make it look a bit shapely. I haven't got anything to show you that would be this shape. But the idea is to try and make it look domed slightly. And I think we're going to have to go in darker on here to get that impression. So I can just go back over the top of these very carefully because I don't want to go over the top of the silver if I can help it. If I do, I'm not going to, it's not the end of the world, but it's better not to. It doesn't really erase. Although it's odd because I feel far more confident using pencils than pens because pencils erase, and yet pencils don't really erase. But I was doing a picture the other day and I dropped my pen. I just grabbed some pens. I was overwhelmed and stressed out, and I grabbed some pens just to do something really simple, and I dropped one and it drew on the page. And then nothing, absolutely nothing that you can do. There we go. I'm going to leave that there. Now this one be a little bit easier because it's got no of those silver loops, but it's small. Now try not to press too hard when you're going round and round, or else when you turn your page over you'll have a round indent on the back, which will make the picture on the back hard to colour. I mean, as I said, Hannah's paper is gorgeous, so it doesn't normally do that, but you do need to just be careful. There we go. There's our other gemstone. You can see that one looks a bit better because we haven't got all this going on. Now I'm going to do the stopper in this colour as well because I think it could be a different colour to the bottle. Let's have a think. We've got, it's sort of cut here. I'm thinking under here is going to be a bit darker, but I'm going to fade it slightly towards the middle if I can, but make this my most intense colour. Like that. So we've got a little bit of shine because it's, you know, these are gemstones, so it could be a sort of cut stone, couldn't it? That would be lovely. It's interesting, perfume bottles can be really pretty, but not quite this pretty. I don't buy perfume. It's I just think it's a bit of a luxury. It's overpriced is my opinion, but I know some people love it and that's absolutely fine. It's just my view. And I wasn't, my mum never wore loads of makeup or used perfumes or anything like that. She just didn't have the money, to be fair, but she still doesn't, and she's got the money. It's just not something that we were brought up doing. I want to make that look a bit shiny without making it look like it's shaped too much. Actually, I think that's okay. Just fit in there and there. I'm actually still not happy with the gemstone. I'm going to grab the mythos black and do around the edge of each one, and I think it's just going to help. So I'm just going to go around the edge. I'm not going to put this on the silver bit, just on the purple. Although, you know, the silver bit would be shaded. But I think it's just going to help that stone look a bit more rounded. And around here too. Maybe I'm just being a bit finicky. There we go. Right, I haven't decided what to do on those little circles on this silvery bit. I don't know what those are supposed to be. But anyway, I'm going to grab a colour for our glass. I'm just having a look. I think I'm going to use the Garnet Lake. I think it's a nice, I'm just grabbing it, it's going to need a sharpen. It's a nice dark pinky purple, I guess. There we go. And I think it just go really well with our colour scheme. So there we go. Now, let's do this neck of the bottle first, because actually that's easier for me. And for me, it's just fun to make it lighter towards the centre. And then leave a little gap for shine, and that to me makes it look like it could be quite glassy. We're going to do the same with this bottom bit because it's nice and easy, because it's the same. You just have to layer up here, go patient, be patient, go slowly, and then less layers as you come to here. There we go. And the centre one I'm going to do in this direction with my colouring, because that's how it's sort of drawn. And just fade it. So more layers here. And just fade. My sister just messaged me before I came on, and now I'm thinking about it. She said, I'm going to use the mythos black just to put a bit of shadow underneath here. The town she works in has a river running through it, and the river's flooding. They're shutting off various streets and things, but she said where her shop is there's no risk, and her train's still running at the moment, but even if her train doesn't run, I'm going to put a bit there. Her husband can pick her up in the car from a particular street that never gets affected, so she's feeling quite safe. She's just thinking she might not get many customers. So now we've got this background bit to do. So I'm thinking we need to keep this shine going down the middle, as it's going through the middle of the whole thing. So on this section, we can do more here, and then less there. Like that. But she's okay. She said it just might stop her customers coming in. She said one of her Friday regular customer, she has the one regular, gets the bus, and she said the bus station's closed because it's flooded, but the buses are coming in, but they're just dropping off elsewhere, you know, because obviously they can't go into the bus station. They're used to it. It happens a lot. Happened last year, I think. But you know, she just being careful. I was just saying to her, do you need to come home? She'd go home, and she said, no, I'll be safe. So that's good. But yeah, we had a warning on our river too by us. I live nowhere near her. It's just the time of year, really. I'm doing this bit really lightly because it's quite near the middle. I'm thinking maybe a bit darker there. And this one, we want it darker on the edge. But yeah, our river's okay. We've had sunshine today, although forecast snow. But luckily it's Monday, so I'll have a bit of a chance for it to dry up a bit, and My children are home in the afternoon. It's supposed to get worse through the day, so I'm hoping that if it does get bad, they'll be home by then. But they'll be on foot, so it won't be too bad, and I could always meet them at the bus stop with their walking boots to change into, although they would be mortified if I did that. They would rather walk home in their trainers and get soaking wet feet than mother meet them at the bus stop with a with some sensible shoes. But we'll look at the forecast, and they may wear their walking boots in. We'll see what it's doing. They did when it snowed before. They don't like wearing them, but they realise that it's a sensible thing to do. Right, now let's have a little look. I'm quite pleased with this, I have to say. Now I think I'm going to leave it there, but do some white. Now we could use different white pens. Sorry, I've just got to wipe my nose. I'm going to use my Posca because I've got quite a thick bit to do on this centre here. Let's give it a shake. So this is my PC1MR. I put all the things I use in the description, so you can go and have an investigate if it's something you want to look into more. There are lots of different white pens you can use, so that's that bit. I'm going to do a little bit on there as well. We didn't do those circles, we'll have to do those in a minute. I'm thinking I want to do a little bit on the bottle just to make it look a bit more glassy, like that. I'm going to do a bit on the other side as well. When you're adding shine lines, that one was really messy. Just trying to decide. I think I'm going to do them now in the purple, in the amethyst, those little circles, because they wouldn't be glass. So when you're doing your white shine lines, do them in the direction of the thing you're working near. And if it goes horribly wrong like that, you can rub it off while it's wet, or scratch it off a bit while it's dry. Or you can even colour over the top, which is what I'm actually going to do. Just check I've got the right one. Yeah, this is the Garnet Lake. Try not to lean on the white that I've done already. It doesn't cover brilliantly, but that'll do. So I am happy with that. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to fiddle anymore. Yeah. So there is our first perfume bottle. Now we've got 6 on this page. I think we should have a go at all of them. I'm quite liking using the metallic pencils. If you don't have them, you know, you have shades of purple and pinks. You can use it, just the same technique. So if you're a little bit nervous and you're not sure what colours to use, drop me a comment. Tell me what pencil set you've got, and I will, if I can, I will find some equivalent colours for you. So just to say, I'll tell you with polys, because I know a lot of people have the polychromos. For the purple, use mauve. For the glass, use I would use either magenta or crimson, or probably light red violet might be the best, actually. Light red violet. And for the silvers, use your cold greys. So use your cold grey 3 for the lightest one, probably 5 for the darker one. You could use the black in the same way I did, or you could use your Payne's grey instead. But that should be okay for you. That should give you enough guidance. So there we go. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to doing the next one. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and happy colouring.